Hello everybody, and welcome to the Noob Animation Podcast channel. I am here today with a legend in the game. I'm here with Segun
Said a
Samson.
legend.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, like you don't know the effect that you have here, man. It's phenomenal. So yeah, man. Introduce yourself and what you do for people that don't know. Though it's
Sure.
hard for them to not know.
Sure. Cool, everybody. Hi, my name is Segun Samson. I work as a character designer and software scene artist for animation and games. And I also do music in church and write
Yeah,
songs. But I'm an all-round creative, really. Yeah.
that's awesome, man. It's so nice to meet you. As I said,
Sure.
like you are a legend, really. Like no lies about that. So yeah, man, let
Sure, bro.
us
I have
get
I have legends as well.
yeah. So let's get into it. So man, so what were your
Sure.
early influences going into this field? Because I know like coming from Nigeria, like your parents they want you to either be a doctor, a lawyer, and like they don't really support this like creative field. So
Oh
what
yeah.
were your early influences and how did you go about getting
I
to this point?
think Yeah, sure. I mean, great question. I've answered this question so many times.
Yeah, same.
But I know for sure, like what got me into animation and just creative space in general was comics and a lot of animation as well. Because I remember there's this X-Men, I keep forgetting the names, like a young version of X-Men that shows on Silver Bed
Oh,
in the mornings.
STV on
Yeah, STV, sorry.
Saturday that they were
Yeah,
they that like Dr. X's house
teenagers.
was like a high school.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
remember them.
That was one animation that definitely inspired me. And of course, like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, but that particular X-Men, I know was like a unique one for me. And yeah, like reading comics. I read a lot of comics. I still read comics. Comics was one big thing for me. Back home we always get like what older versions. At least when I started reading comics, I was reading older version of comics because we couldn't get like the recent comics. So like early Batman. I remember one comic that I really liked was Pete. It's not so popular, but Pete was designed by Dale Keown, who is interestingly Canadian as well.
Have you
But
met
yeah,
him?
like that was one comic that no, not yet. I'm trying. I
Okay.
don't even know. I can't even find. I don't know where he is. It's so interesting because I've gone to Comic Con twice and I've not even seen like any trace of him. Maybe he's retired, I guess. He should be retired. But yeah, like that comic was one comic that inspired me. But yeah, comics and movies and animation was my start for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So okay. All right, that was lovely. Okay, so next question. What was the journey like getting to where you are now? Like were there any moments that felt like, like should I change career? Like maybe because like right now as I started doing this, there are some days that I'll wake up and I'm like, this animation doesn't even look good. Like, would I get there? I don't have money to pay for this. Like
Mm,
stuff like that. So it's sort of you always have to
the journey, man.
motivate yourself to keep going because
Oh
it's not going
yeah.
to be easy.
Oh yeah. It's the journey, man, and it's interesting because I've been doing this for like 10 years now, and I still feel like that a lot of times. It never ends. It's just you just get experience over time. So for me, so far it's been fun. I would say I've been favored because I'm Christian, right? So
Yeah,
of course I believe in God,
I
and I
love
know
that
God has
so
really like
much.
yeah, God has really opened like a lot of opportunities that I can't
I've
even trace how
I've
I got
thought
them, right?
would have happened. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's been a interesting journey. Of course, I've had like really down times and like really high moments, but I've come to realize it's just part of the journey. But it's been fun. It's been great.
So basically,
Yeah.
we should just keep pushing through,
Just
and
keep
like
pushing,
and just
man.
believing that there's a plan for us.
Oh yeah, just keep pushing, keep creating. I think that's like if there's anything I could say, is just keep creating. Just keep creating stories and ideas that are unique to you, because like the experiences we have is what inform like what we create, right? So just embrace everything and create. Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Thank you for that. So then again,
sure, man.
there is this question that I want to ask. So, what kept you pursuing this path? This path, like, what was your like driving force? So, for example, For like me now, I keep saying, okay, I want to work with the best guys. I want to learn
Right.
from like Kelly Volta, from like Ethan Horde, Nico Hare. So like all of
Hmm.
those guys, I want to like learn from them. So that's what keeps on. That's why I keep doing it, because
Keeps
I know
inspiring you.
I have to
Yeah.
get to a point that those guys will be able to say, okay, I would like this guy on my team to supervise and
Right.
stuff like that. So, what was your
Yeah, I think
driving force?
it's a mix of that, man. And I would say it's changed like over time. Currently, my driving force now is to tell my own story, like my original ideas, and like
Okay.
um, tell our stories and tell them at a really good quality. I've been fortunate to like work on projects that I've been doing that, but I think it's time for me to do my own project.
So like the
I
whole
think that's
thing,
my
like the whole from
yeah, that's like
character, story, script.
oh, not the whole thing. Don't kill me, bro.
Okay, okay,
No,
no, no, I
no,
mean, like when you,
just
okay, okay,
oh no, no, there's no way. But like directing is like what I would say is what's
okay.
driving me now. I want to direct my own show. I want to be like a show creator kind of thing. But over the years, so many things have been my driving force. But I think the biggest thing would be I just want to create, man. Like all this comics and all this animation inspired me. I want to create stuff that will inspire people. And it's so cool because I know a lot of like artists that I've inspired or have been part of their journey and I've seen how far they've gone now. So doing more of that is like the biggest thing for me right now. Of course, money was my driving force at some point. I
True,
wanted to make
true, true,
money.
true, true.
Um, even if that was not like materializing for a really long time, but at some point I started making money but I think it's just different things would drive individuals. For me right now, it's directing my own show. It's driving me. Yeah.
Okay, so and how is that? How has that been going? Like going about directing your,
It's
like,
it's like a
is there a learning
whole
curve
new
you need
thing for
to?
me. Oh yes. I'm like a what I've signed up to like three different programs or like courses
Master classes and
if you say yeah, so I'm doing like a writing course. I'm learning how to write. I'm doing like a storyboarding course. I'm doing a course on pitching, picking up new softwares. I'm learning Blender because I'm like used to Maya and ZBrush and all the stuff. But now I'm learning Blender and I'm learning how to move polygons from beginning. It's so crazy. But yeah, like it's just learning all over again. Now I'm going for like meetings and talking to like distributors, talking to other successful creators. Just it's a whole new
you always
world
have to
entirely for
evolve,
me.
basically. Evolve
You
and
always
learn,
have to evolve. I
adapt,
think.
evolve and
Oh
learn.
yeah, yeah. Because if you have if like you said, your driving force right now is like work with studios and work with like some individuals you like admire. Trust me, you're gonna achieve that. After that, what next?
Yeah,
So it's
amen,
something else will
amen.
always drive you. Yeah, and that's what makes you stand out. Like how much drive you have. I have people that knew me when I literally started, like what 11 years ago, and my drive has not changed. So it's the
Yeah,
drive that makes you stand out. Yeah,
I
yeah, man.
met Judah. Do you know Judah?
Oh, Judah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I
So
think it's like
yeah, yeah.
it's directing a Magic Carpet now. I
Yes, yes,
think.
yes, yeah, magic carpet.
Yeah.
So there was a night that I was with him, because I also like trained a magic carpet. So
Nice.
we we were like discussing. Then he was like gisting
Hmm.
me, like, about you, like back then, in like Jaws, that you like come over to learn at their house. And I was like, whoa, okay, so this is like crazy, man. It was just
Which
so
Judah is this?
Judah from Magic Lab.
Judah and Magic
Yeah,
Carpet?
yeah, Magic Carpet.
Magic Lab.
No, no, that's Magic Carpet. Like Magic Carpet is Magic Lab.
Magic. Yeah, because I mean, I met Judah in Lagos. I've
Okay,
never been to Jos.
okay, okay. Then
But
maybe
yeah,
you
we
mix.
did like we yeah probably mix the story up
Yeah,
at
yeah,
some
yeah. Maybe
point.
I'm
But
mixing
yeah,
it up.
like
Yeah, but yeah.
he knows the journey because I knew when Magic Cafe started. I know most of the founders and like the core team members. So yeah, it's been again it's part of my journey and it's part of their journey as well. So yeah.
It's wild. It's wild. But it's sort of like mind blowing for me, because I went from hearing about you to, it's crazy for me, man. Yeah, that's nice.
Uh,
All right. So next question. What was the point, or the job that you got, that it was like, okay, this is a milestone for me. Like, this is like a major
mm,
milestone for you.
oh man. had so many. I've had so many.
So
Again,
is it?
it's so many stages, right?
Mhm.
But if I have to go back in time to like the very first thing that changed my perspective and just like validate my journey and thinking, the first one, maybe I'll say the first like international project I worked on, which was Monster High Electrified.
Okay.
And it's still one of those things where you get some opportunities that you have no idea. You can't even trace how that happened, right? Because what I just got an email saying, "Hey man, we saw your stuff on our station. We'd like to work with you. Do you want to work on this project? We're starting an animation, department." I'm like, "Where did you guys even find me from?" you know, I think that was the first project that actually made me feel like, "Oh, okay, you know what? Maybe I have what it takes to actually like do this thing on a global level."
Oh,
But yeah, and that was what 2016.
that's so surreal. So you were just by yourself,
Yeah,
and yo,
I was just by myself,
that
minding
is
my business.
that is good right there, man. That is
But
crazy.
that's good. But yeah, but one thing I know for sure, like opportunities like that make sense when you're prepared,
Yeah, true, true.
right?
You're
Because
always
if
in
you're not
a
prepared,
constant state of
yeah,
preparedness.
exactly. But yeah, that was the first project for sure.
That's amazing. So how was
Yeah, man.
transitioning to Canada for you? So basically, okay, so this question is in two parts. Like, how was transitioning to
Right.
Canada? Then
Hmm.
how was also like the work, like the workflow there? Like, how is it much different from what you were already used to? Do you understand? Sorry, I thought I should like elaborate more, but you understood the
Oh,
question.
sure. You can for sure.
Okay, so I just meant like, okay, because in Nigeria we have a system of working. So how's that different from
Hmm.
working outside at the studio or
Outside.
yeah?
Uh, I think honestly, for me, I'll say it's the same thing. Because while I was in Nigeria, I was working what for studios in Canada, studios in US, studios in
Oh,
China, studios in London. So I was used to the workflow. And again, I was working remotely, and even here I'm working remotely like 95%. So it's pretty much my workflow that I still use. You know what I mean? At the end is, oh, this is your objective, create your designs and deliver your designs. Like it's still the same process. But now the major thing I would say is just like the work culture. It's a bit different from like Nigeria. I didn't work in Nigerian studios in house as much. I was always working remotely with studios here. So it's hard for me to say, oh, this is like the major difference.
okay,
But
okay.
I think if anything, it's just like the studio culture here, because what animation has been there are so many studios here that are even older than my dad. You know what I mean?
I get that. I get that. I believe that.
there are schools here that are older than Nigeria.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's a culture, yeah, it's a way of life. The biggest thing I would say was like a big culture shock for me was I was living in the reality I wanted to live in a way. Because what as animators and creators, we're trying to morph the Nigerian culture to suit, like the creative space and like understanding the jobs we do. Because I remember I had so many issues working from home all the time. Everybody saw me to be like a criminal, because I was working from home even before COVID happened and everybody started working from home. I've been working from home. So they were like, this young guy working in the house. And say I didn't concept that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
So
Yeah,
sus.
yeah, but here is like normal. Like I remember one of the best conversations I had when I moved here was I was talking to like a bus driver and we are talking about anime. It's crazy, bro. We're talking about anime for like 30 minutes. I even passed my bus stop just to, like I was like, yo, it's so
It
easy
Jesus
to
was
like talk to
engaging.
people about it's so cool to talk to people about what you do or what you want to do, but back home, man, which bus driver will talk
As
about
in,
animation?
they just be like, oh boy, yeah, like you're making cartoons. Shift first.
So the world here is just they're really used to it. Like what they advertise. I was talking to my wife the other day. We were at the subway and we saw like Call of Duty being advertised just on the
I love
subway
Call of
designs. I was like,
Duty.
this can never happen in Nigeria. Like, if you tell people you're playing it, they'll be like, you don't have a life. So it's those are the things. Those are the things. Those few things. Just like big difference for me, and I really love it. You know.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
but funny enough though, we have improved because of right now the
yeah,
as in we
you're
have
making
like
it
do
sound
like
like I'm so. You're making it sound like I'm so far from Nigeria. I was still in Nigeria a few months ago,
Oh,
bro.
okay,
I still
okay,
know.
okay,
I
okay, okay,
still
okay,
know.
okay, okay,
I'm
okay.
connected. Yeah,
Ah, okay, cool. All right.
yeah.
Nice,
No, I'm
nice,
not
nice.
too far from
All
home.
right,
I still
all right.
understand everything going on. Yeah.
That's lovely then. Okay, so what was the first major studio you worked for, and how did you get the job?
First global studio was Axis Animation. I think they've closed down now, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah,
sad.
yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah,
I saw that they had folded up.
yeah.
It
It's
was just
crazy,
like
man. Things
wow,
so much has changed.
Axis.
But yeah, that was the first. Yeah, Axis was the first studio outside like Africa.
Yeah,
But in Africa, Triggerfish was the
okay.
first studio I worked with that I really felt like I was working on something I really wanted to work on, kind of situation. Yeah, so those two,
So
Axis and
how did you get
Triggerfish.
the Axis job? Like what
That was the
was?
one I told you I got an email.
Oh,
That's the one I
okay.
got an email.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, but the triggerfish one I could tell you about because I was talking to someone a few days ago.
Okay.
He's studying in South Africa. I wanted to just talk to someone in the animation industry. And we're talking about like how I started as well, and it just made me remember how I actually started animation, like how I actually got into animation and where I am today. It's so funny. The very first project I worked on with Triggerfish, I don't know if they even remember. It's so funny, bro. I don't know if you knew when Don Jazzy, you know Don Jazzy for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, come on now.
Yeah, they had they had this competition for a comic book. It's years and years ago. It was called Doro Superhero, something like that. This is really long. This is like 20 what 13 or 12 or something like
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
But anyway, so they opened like did like a call for like artists to create their own superhero design, and I think the best artist will be selected and work on the comic book. So I was like, oh, this is my opportunity. I know comic. I worked in comics for a while. Now I'm moving into animation. I'm the best guy, blah, blah, blah. So I created my design, submitted it. I don't think I was even part of top 10 or top 20. um, I was disappointed about that, but again, I just participated, right, and submitted my stuff. Few months later, I just got like an email. I don't know if it's an email or on Facebook. I can't remember now. But one of the heads of Triggerfish was like, "Hey man, we saw your stuff. We are actually working on a project. It's something similar like this. We like to work on it." And that was how I started with Triggerfish. That
Yo,
was my very first project. I can't remember how much that was, but that was my very first project. And what now? I've worked on two or three projects with them now that I've won like awards and are like
yeah,
super amazing projects. So,
I saw.
but that was how I started. I started
Kizazi.
with just one design.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kizazi, Kia, Seal Team,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
I saw
crazy.
Seal Team. I was Seal Team was nice, very nice. The character
Yeah,
designs
it's
were nice.
crazy how things build up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like the first stuff I did with Triggerfish years and years ago. And we're still in like communication and still working together even till
Yeah.
now. It's crazy.
That's that's as in your life is just a like testament to like God and your
Oh, thanks,
skills.
man.
It's just so exciting
No, man.
to hear this, man.
All glory to God, man. I
I
can't lie.
swear.
All glory
I
to God
swear. I
because
swear.
so many people started when I started, and not everybody's, at the same level as
Yeah,
as you would
true.
say. But I just thank God that I'm still
Yeah.
doing what I do and what I love. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So next question. Any advice for people or for people back home or for people just starting out or for people that want to get into it but they are unsure and a lot of things just on their mind. Like what can you say to because I know that, it's like all of life is a bet. You get like is that you
Right.
take risks or you don't take risks, like nothing is assured, but if there's any word you can say to like
Oh
anyone
man,
or
nothing is not nothing is assured. That's such
yeah,
a
nothing is.
strong phrase, but I think if there's anything I can tell anybody, just keep creating. You have something unique about whatever you do that only you can do. I'm just knowing this more now as well. Just keep creating, have mentors, and I think like you've mentioned, like having people you look up to, look up to people and try to get like mentorship. If it's paid mentorship, if it's just if you get favors from people that could help you out, give you feedback, don't take that for granted. Make sure you get like mentorship to help you grow. Just keep creating and keep sharing your work. One day it's gonna make sense. That's like the biggest thing I can say. Just keep going. Hard work still pays. Yeah.
All right. So do you
That's like
run
what? That's
any
like five
mentorships?
advising one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It is. It is. It is. Do you run any
um.
mentorships or any programs that you can that
Well, I
people
have.
can reach out to?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a course on
Domestica.
Domestica
Yeah.
that I give feedback from time to time. I'm hoping to create a mentorship at some point that'll be a lot more personalized.
Yeah.
But there's something coming up soon that I hope everything goes well. We're still in the planning phase, but
You
it
will
would be
in
really
Jesus'
helpful and it
name.
would solve. Amen. And it will solve this. It will be like a mentorship thing for like 6 weeks, I think, and it's gonna be open to like everybody. So hopefully, if that comes true, I'll probably announce it and share more. But yeah.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Like I don't sculpt because of like I tried. I do not know how to
Hmm.
use ZBrush. There are some shapes that are just so hard. Like once I see a reference and I'm like, oh, this looks so
How do you even
complicated.
start?
I'll just like I'll just stick to animation. So yeah, if it's up
Ah,
there, I'll try though because I do like
nice,
the idea
nice.
of characters. It's just I don't have that
That's fun, man.
mental fortitude to do it. All right.
So you do more animation? Is that what you
Yeah,
do?
yeah. I'm solely focused on on character animation. I'm
Nice,
trying to polish my work
nice,
to that level.
sweet.
But you've
That's
seen my
cool.
stuff right on Instagram, I think.
Yeah, but I thought you were doing like a bit of like modeling and stuff.
No,
But
no,
now I
no,
know
no,
it's
no.
just animation.
Just
That's nice,
focused on animation. Yeah. It was when I
nice,
started
nice.
out that I was a bit confused on what to do. But
Mm-hmm.
after like following people and joining a lot of like webinars and getting a mentor, I then figured out okay, you need to specialize to actually stand
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. It helps like refine your focus and
yeah,
the right
you
direction to
focus
put
all your
your
energy
energy.
in one thing and it's much better. All right. So next
Nice.
question.
Makes you an expert.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All
Sure.
right. So, what's one thing you wish you knew at the beginning of your career that would have helped you right now? That's if you knew it back then, you'd have been like, okay, I should have started doing this instead of doing all those things I was doing. Though I'm sure all those things helped you become who you are now. So, it's not a waste either ways.
Exactly. I don't know if I'll change. I don't know if I'll change anything. I think the only thing I wish I did more when I actually started working is build more of my own stories. Because I feel like at some point in my career, I became like a machinery, just helping people achieve, and that's fine. That's great. That's so cool. I've worked on amazing projects, right? But I wish I created more content, like did more stuff. Like maybe I wish I had like a story I've been working on for the last 6 years or something. That would have
Yeah,
been so
true.
cool. It's like, yeah, but I did not do that. At some point, I think I forgot about it. I put it far back in my mind. That would be the biggest thing. But aside that, I think I won't change anything. I won't. Yeah,
True, true,
yeah.
true. The journey makes the man, as they
Oh
say.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. 100%. 100%.
true.
Yeah.
All right. So I think this next question, you're going to enjoy it. So how did you get into singing? Because of the thing is, I went on YouTube and I googled your name, and I found more singing stuff than animation stuff, and I was like, oh
Really?
shit,
So what
yeah,
what what name did you check?
Segun
If you check
Samson.
Segun Samson, you should see more art.
No,
That's
bro,
interesting.
I
I need to
saw a
look.
lot of
I need to
music
look into that.
and I was like, okay, yo, this is nice, and I also like the fact that you play the guitar. So me as well, I'm trying to learn the guitar. I just started 2 days ago,
Nice.
and my things are paining me. Like it's so
Yeah,
hard
your
getting
fingers
the
will feel
frets and keys.
it.
So yeah. So
You'll
how did
get
you
used to
get
it.
get into that?
I think so. Music has been the main thing for me, and still is. So again, I'm Christian, right?
Yeah.
Music is like my release. It's my safe space. That's where I like just reconnect with myself and connect with God and just like really just find me again. Um, So music has always. I've been writing songs. I can't even remember how old I was, but I know I've been writing songs from when I was a little kid, and I'm still writing songs. Music has always been there, and for some reason, I've never like focused on it like a business or like, oh, I want to record songs to like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
blow. It's still something I'm struggling with, right? I don't want to because the same thing happened with art. I started drawing for fun, and now it's job, and you know how it gets
yeah,
when it becomes
yeah,
work, right?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so music has always been there. It's always been there. Always. I can't even
So
say, oh, this is when
okay.
I started. It's always been there.
So I saw
Yeah.
that you attended like Bethel Music. I think this week.
Oh, so I went. They came to Toronto. They
Yeah,
came for. I think they're doing like a tour, and they came to Toronto. It was amazing, man. It
yeah. How
was.
was it?
Ooh, it
That
was so
that
good. It
that
was
that,
so.
that
It
was the
was so
question.
good. You know that feeling when you like. So aside from just like the spiritual aspect and like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
worship
yeah.
aspect, which was excellent and amazing,
Exceptional. Yeah,
just like it was. Oh, it was next level. Just like seeing people you've really grown up with and just listening to their sound because better like the way they write songs, the way they
yeah,
compose,
yeah,
and like spontaneous worship has always been my thing. I
yeah.
better that's like one thing they're really known for. So just seeing them like doing, oh, it was so good. It was so good. Just
Amazing.
like when you meet your heroes kind of feeling.
Wish I could experience it the way
You
you're
will.
experiencing it. But
You
yeah, man,
will.
amazing,
You
amazing,
will.
amazing.
It would happen for sure.
All right. So
Yeah, man.
next question. What was the biggest resistance you faced on your journey to where you are now? So what was that? Because like some people now, it's your family that is telling you, see, stop all this drawing and collect that job, or do what you get, like stuff like that. So what was your own resistance that you faced?
A lot different stages again. At some point, it was my parents, and I don't blame them. They didn't understand. And it's an African thing. Like
Yeah,
they
it's an
don't.
African thing.
I can't blame anybody. Like you want to do animation as a job in Nigeria, okay? Oh.
it's
You
it's
know,
trying.
it's so crazy. As when I started, nobody was doing it on the level I was hoping to get to at the time. But yeah, that happened. The whole parent not believing, blah 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 happened. But I'll say the biggest resistance I had was honestly Nigeria. It was really hard to like function as an artist at the peak of, to be the best you want to be.
Yeah.
So many factors, right? Like
Light.
power,
I just knew it that light.
security.
Light will be the first.
Bro, I was talking to my friend today, and I remember we were working on a project for a Canadian company. And I mean, we're getting paid like what Canadian rates,
Yeah.
right? But we didn't have internet to connect.
Sure.
We didn't have good internet because we're supposed to be a remote work where you actually
Mm-hmm.
remote into their computer and work on their computer. We couldn't. I remember we worked. I was living on the island where you expect to have the best internet, blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
5x1 and all that.
Yeah, bro, we had everything. Nothing was good. So that one was like the biggest
Resistance.
challenge at the time. Yeah, but aside that, I know I had this phase. I was thinking on a deeper level. I had this phase where I had so many good opportunities, but for some reason, they don't just land. When you have like great interviews and everything is going fine, and just
Yeah,
poof.
yeah, yeah.
It's, so now I still don't know why that happens. I,
I
yeah.
I had that like 2 months ago. Like there was I sent my
Mm,
show somewhere, and we had an interview, and I was like, okay, lovely, everything went well, and that's just been cold since then. Like no email, no
bruh, man,
follow up, and I'm just like, okay,
it's the
do I disturb
worst.
them or do I just chill?
Yeah.
So yeah,
But I find it's one of those things that make us stronger, right? Like I kind
resilience.
of I remember I was talking to a student one time and she was like, "Oh, how do you cope with like rejection emails?" And I just went on my email and literally just searched unfortunately. Bruh, if you see the amount of
Unfortunately,
if you see the amount of unfortunately,
unfortunately, you were not chosen, but don't be
ay,
dismayed.
ay, ay.
Apply again.
It is
Yeah,
it is part of
yeah,
the
yeah.
journey, man. It is what it is. So that happened at some point. That still happens till now. I still got some, unfortunately, on some projects.
Seriously,
Yeah.
that's
Oh
wild.
yeah, bro, it happens,
That's wild.
and it is what it is. You just rejoice when you get some, and keep going when you don't get some. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, right now I think the biggest resistance I'm having is just time. Time to manage everything I want to do. Um, Look right there. That's my cello. I really want to start
Oh,
learning to
oh, you
play the
played that too
cello.
as well.
No time. I want to. My wife got it for me
Okay.
3 years ago, and I still can't play. um, so time is like I think just managing time is like my biggest thing right now. Um, but yeah, over time, different things, man. Yeah,
Different
different
things.
things. Just yeah.
All right, so I wanted the last question you sort of answered it already because it was any future
Hmm.
plans of like where you see yourself in the next 5 years, seeing that you've already accomplished like so much, like you've worked on everything coming out of Africa for the past like I think 3 years or 2 years. Then you worked on mystery of Aravos. Like you've just been doing the madness. Like you've been that
Yeah,
guy basically. So yeah, so you
it's
said you
it's
want
all
to do
God, man.
directing, right? So I don't know,
Yeah,
is there anything else? And also you said you're about to do like a course or a mentorship program for like everybody.
yeah,
So is there anything else you want to
yeah.
add on that?
I think, yeah, like if I'm to set like a 5 year goal, it should definitely be to have, one or two projects in production or probably out. Um, and I think the biggest next step for me is to give back. And the best way to do that is to like teach,
Yeah.
right? So even here in Canada, I'm trying to like work my way to like probably be like a professor and start teaching
Let's
and like
go.
mentoring people.
Let's
Oh yeah, that's
go.
the goal, bro. That's the goal.
Let's go.
And eventually like set up like, kind of like a learning platform where I could bridge like the people I know here to like teach people I know back home and
That
just
would be
have that
awesome.
cross.
That would be awesome.
That's yeah,
Let
that's
them
my
get that
ultimate
get
goal.
that global
Yeah,
experience.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because we have the skills. We have mad artists, like
Yeah.
crazy good artists.
Like
And the
we have we,
resilience
we
of
have we have
this.
like diamonds in the rough. They just need to be polished. Yeah.
Yeah, we even have polished diamonds. It's just for
True
them
as
to
well.
shine in the
True,
right
true,
place.
true, 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 true,
you
true,
know.
true, true.
So yeah, like I think that would be the next thing. Like do more mentorship courses. Um, like have new mentees that I could actually like help, direct them with the experience I have, create my own shows, teach in schools here and back home. I think that's pretty much like the next phase for me. I don't know if I'm chasing after like, oh, I want to work on this project or this project. I feel like at this point I'm just
Yeah.
working on projects that I
Yeah.
get opportunity to work on. But yeah, my next phase is to create my own thing and bring people on as well. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
So that brings me to the end of the questions. But if there's anything that you want to
Sweet.
share, anything that you just feel like you want to say, like the floor is open. And also like how's Canada living? Like how's that? Like you've been there how long now?
2 years going on three.
Oh really?
Um,
Feels
yeah, it's
feels
been
like
it's
it's
been
been like
fun.
5 years from
I know, right?
from the way I'm
It's
seeing it.
just time.
Yeah.
The way time moves, man. But I'm still transitioning so much. I spent like almost 30 years in Nigeria, so my brain is
Yeah.
as Nigerian as it can be. And I really appreciate those experiences because it's made me really see the advantages of like not having everything I wanted to have. Because what I'm sure if I had every single thing that I have now back home, I might not really
Yeah.
want to draw late in the night or do anything, Because I remember very well. I still have some artworks, like some papers that I drew on
Yeah.
that had like candle stain and
Okay.
burnt
Wax
paper because I
and all
used to
that.
draw with
Yeah.
candle. Oh yeah, like wax, yes. You know, so I appreciate those stages. It made me really like, it was hardcore.
Yeah.
We went through it. So those things helped me like really work and thrive here. Um, but if there's anything I want to say, it's just keep creating, man. To
Yeah.
anybody that wants to create, just keep creating. Like I had no idea I'll be where I am today, like career wise.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do this, But honestly, I was talking to my wife, like we talk about this all the time. She's like, how come you don't even like write things down, like what you want to do? I'm like, honestly, I feel like I've achieved most of the things I really was like, oh, I want to get this, I want to get this. So now I'm just like living in the moment and just, just
Taking it
now I
one day at a
understand that.
time.
But yeah, that Bible verse that talks about like um
Let's go. I want to hear
focus on
this.
now and let
Okay,
tomorrow
yeah,
take
yeah,
care of
yeah,
itself.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's like, and it's called daily bread, not
Yeah, daily bread.
weekly bread or future bread.
Ah,
It's like
this guy,
daily bread.
this guy,
So just,
this
yeah,
guy.
just absorb today and enjoy it.
Yo,
Just
okay.
do as much as you can today, yeah, and just believe in yourself. Honestly, for anybody, whatever you're doing, just believe in yourself and make genuine friends, care about people. What I've met people that I worked with 6 years ago,
Yeah,
and we are like really great friends now. But like 6 years after, so it's just like making real connections and be true to yourself and to people as well. Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
like my biggest advice. I don't know anything. I'm still learning so
Yeah.
much,
Thank
you
you
know.
so much. Thank you so much for that.
Sure, bro. Sure.
Like this has been an amazing time. I hope it was as amazing for you as it was for me.
Oh yeah.
But then
Oh
again, yeah.
yes.
So yeah, man. Thank you so
I
much
was
for
gonna
being
say,
here. Yeah. No, you're
sure, I
gonna
was
say
gonna
what?
say, like
Okay.
keep doing what you're doing. Like you might not see it now,
Okay.
but this can literally change someone's life. Because I know when I started, I watched a lot of stuff like this,
Yeah.
and they actually inspired me and made me like keep going. So
Nah.
keep going, bro. Keep
Thank
doing
you
it.
so
And
much
it's a way I
because
can support. Yeah.
there are some days that I don't even have ideas for the next video. I don't have and also work too sometimes. I'm always like,
Oh
but yeah,
yeah,
man,
it's really hard to manage.
I'll keep going. I'll keep going. Thank you for that. I actually will.
Nice man. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
man.
thanks for reaching out. Thanks for reaching out. Honestly, I haven't even checked your YouTube till like when you reached out, and I was like, I'll just do it. Because I know how stuff like this helped me. So happy
That
to
is
help out
God right
anytime.
there. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking out the
Cool,
time.
bro.
Thank you to your
Sure,
wife as well for showing you my YouTube. Shout
sure.
out. Hi man. Have a great evening.
No
Let me not take
problem.
up too
You
much of your
too.
time. Thank you. Good night.
Cool.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye.